Because black cod has such a wonderful, rich, oily texture, it can handle an awful lot of flavour. One aspect, I usually give a lot more salt to this preparation than I would to salmon, for example, or any other fish or shellfish for that matter. But we're going to start with ginger, which goes extremely well. This ginger has come straight from the freezer, and I'm going to prepare enough for this marinade. Grating it like that. We're going to add a little bit of lemongrass, which has a lovely citrus note to it, and also, of course, will complement the other citrus that's going to go into the marinade. There we are. I've just grated about a centimetre of that. Next we have a red chilli. A little bit of heat here, not too much. And once again, just quickly over the coarse blade of the microplane. There we are. So those three ingredients there. I've got some garlic as well. That is going to be our fourth component, just for a little meatiness. Add some garlic there, and once again just tap the microplane on the board. And here are our four seasoning ingredients. I'm going to put those into a bowl. There we go, like that. And we will add a couple of further items. The first one being lime juice. Let's say a little bit more of a citrus note. And this is going to be juice of one nice ripe lime. Now, if I didn't have the lemongrass, I would possibly use some zest from the lime. But because the lemongrass is already in there, I don't need to use any more of that item. Next, we're going to add the liquids to this preparation, and we will use more of a salt component with some teriyaki, sometimes soy sauce, sometimes teriyaki, but I like the gingeriness that the teriyaki has. We'll also use ponzu, which is a citrus-based soy sauce. We have some mirin here, which is simply a sweet, like a syrup, which we'll use to give the marinade some depth. And we're also going to use a good a fruity olive oil, which is a little bit incongruous with the rest of these more Asian items, but will complement the overall flavour very well. Now, the ponzu I really like, and we use quite a lot of this there, and about equal quantities of mirin, the sweet component. There we go. That's probably about a tablespoon of each, and it's going to get 2 tablespoons of teriyaki. Okay, and I'm simply going to whisk those items together quickly and pour on a little olive oil just for that vegetable fruitiness. And just to finish, I'm also going to add a little extra salt. This may seem like overkill in the salt department, but really the black cod can take a lot of salt. We can throw an awful lot at it. And we're also going to give it a good grind with some black pepper. Now we have the black cod fillet, which has still the pin bones in it, and it also has, this is the back half of the side of the cod. The loin would have come all the way up to the shoulder about here. It still has some of the rib bones on it, and you can leave those on if you like. It's easy enough to take them off quite simply by slipping a knife in under there we go, and cut up towards the pin bones. Take that and then just follow the bones down with the blade of the knife. There we go, and they are now off. There'll be no more bones on the flesh here, simply the pin bones that go from the spine out to the skin. What we're going to do now is cut these into serving size pieces of cod ready for the marinade. And with cod, because it's so rich, you really don't need to take huge hunks at all. This is a piece that's about 4 ounces, possibly there, about 4 ounces, 3.5, 4 ounces, and that's going to do for a portion. Because of the richness, it really comes up very economically as far as the overall side of the fish is concerned. There we are, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to leave the tail here because we're going to do another preparation which is very simple, which I'll show you afterwards. But there we are, the 4 fillets from they're now steaks from the side, and we've left the skin on. That really helps to hold the fish together when it's cooking. Now we're going to take some of our marinade and just put that on a plate. What we made before will do for 2 batches at least of fish, and it keeps very well in the fridge. All I do is put it in a jar with a tight lid, and it will hold for some time in the fridge. There we are, and the steaks are now just going to go straight on top of the marinade like that. We're going to give them 1 turn. There we are, and they can stay in this. They're going to get 30 minutes for sure. They could take 2 hours in the marinade, and in some cases I've left extra fish in this marinade for up to 3 days. No problem, because of the wonderful rich texture of the fish. It's not going to dry out. We don't find a whole lot of liquid coming out of the steaks. They will remain nice and moist even though you have exposed them to the marinade for a long time. So now we're ready to cook the fish. It's had 30 minutes in the marinade without turning it, and I'm going to add just a little bit of oil, just enough to cover the surface of the old cast iron fry pan, which is great for this. You can use cast iron or any non-stick fry pan. Just enough to coat the surface of it, and then carefully add the fillets, add the black cod steaks one by one. The trick with the black cod is to handle as little as possible while they're in the pan, while the cooking process is taking place. They've had approximately 30 seconds on the first side, so lifting them carefully, I'm going to turn them over and give them the second side down to cook. There we go. See, they come off quite easily, even though there is quite a lot of sweetness. The mirin provides a lot of sweetness in the marinade, and therefore the sugar content is quite high in the marinade. You can see it's just caramelized enough. We've got a nice color on it. It's going to go from there straight into an oven, which I've preheated to 450 degrees. Just before they go, I'm going to spoon a little bit of extra marinade over the fish, just a little bit like that, just to coat the top. While the pan is still sizzling, it's good and hot, and I'm going to put it straight into the preheated oven, 450 degrees. And here we have the black cod fillets coming out of the oven. Oh, delicious. Look at that. And we'll lift one out. There we are. And onto the plate. You can see the muscle fibre is very well defined. There's a little split there. I can tell that the fish is well cooked. It could have another 15 minutes in the oven. It's had 12 minutes already, and for this size of fillet, that's perfect. But you can cook it longer with no problem at all. You can see there is a little bit of juice come out of the fish now. That's inevitable with any fish that's been frozen, but once it's on the plate, it will keep that beautiful the color on the top and very little extra juice or water coming out of the fish. While the steaks are cooking, I'm going to do the second preparation with the tail end of the black cod fillet now, and this is a very simple one. I use 4 ingredients. We have black pepper, we have some coarse salt, this is a beautiful smoked sweet paprika from Spain, and turmeric. And quite simply going to put these 4 spices onto the face of the cod fillet. Here, 1, 2. Black pepper there, and finish with a little coarse salt. Just rub it in, rub it over, distribute the spice as well all over. Put a little bit more salt in there. And this is for a preparation that I really like for, it's a lunch. It was typically a breakfast item in days gone by, called kedgeree, and they would use smoked fish. We don't have smoked fish, but the smokiness from the paprika certainly enhances that flavor and gives it a smoky dimension. Once again, just a very light coating of vegetable oil in the pan. The pan has been preheated. It's another cast iron fry pan. I'm going to leave a little bit more oil in there, but not too much. And it will be smoking lightly. We don't want to have it burning hot. But the fish is simply going to go presentation side down onto the pan. We're going to give it approximately 30 seconds there. Once again, just to color, I can smell the paprika and the turmeric cooking already. We'll give that a chance to release some oils, to color up a little bit, and then we're going to turn the fish over and pop it into the oven as well. Okay, 30 seconds have elapsed, and we're just going to turn the fish one time over. There you can see the spices have colored. They haven't burnt. There's no blackening. The turmeric and the orange of the paprika have melded together. We have a brown coating of very pungent spice over the skin of the fillet, and we're going to pop that into the oven as well right now. And here's the tail of the black cod out of the oven now. After 20 minutes at 450 degrees, you can see it's well baked. The juice that has come out of it has all been dried up around the side. That doesn't matter because we're going to lift the piece off and then flake flake the fish from the skin, and which will give us a lovely preparation that we can use along with rice, that we can put as part of a salad item or put with eggs, traditionally served with rice, hard-boiled eggs, and an onion-based curry sauce, which is just delicious for breakfast or brunch.